Hello, tubers! Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are, and welcome to Cooper's Thai Adventure. Welcome back. Please hit the like and subscribe button. It really helps out the channel, helps out Coop, and might even keep me employed. But anyways, today's topic is you've decided to come to Thailand. Great news. A few tips on how to reduce your stress. And stay tuned to the end because I've got a terrific tip for you there too. Okay, so the first thing I wanted to start with is tip number one. Consider flying business class. For many of you, it might be the first time in your life you've done this. I had never done it until I met Coop. And he convinced me to fly business class to Manila, from Manila to Bangkok. So it was a shorter flight. I think it was it was maybe like $250 more each ticket to do that. And, of course, why would I do that? What's the benefit? There's certain things on the plane, better options for meals and refreshments, leg room, just a little better class of service. You also have the benefits of, the lounges prior to leaving. And that was interesting to see. The food's all complimentary and, it's good. And especially you've got time to kill if you're at the airport early. But here's the big reason he convinced me to do it was they have a dedicated immigration line at the airport for business class customers. And he said, listen, it's worth it, trust me. So I did. And sure enough, we arrive in Bangkok. We're walking through the airport, and Cooper looks at me and says, see that line there? That's the regular economy line. And my God, it was lined up. You couldn't see the end. I'm guessing there would have been 2 to 3 hours, my opinion, to get through to the counter for immigration. And we kept walking past that line to the dedicated entrance. Well, the first thing I noticed, there's no lineup. I walk up, I think we're the second person in row. The first one gets up to immigration as I arrive to the front. And I'm through immigration in like 5 minutes. So, wow, wasn't that worth it? So having that dedicated line is probably money well spent. If you're like me and you don't like standing in lineups and you hate 2 hour, 3 hour waits sometimes. So that to me was worth it, especially if you're flying, say you're moving, you're coming here. That might be the treat you should get yourself on your initial trip over. And why I say that, it's a heck of a long flight. I flew from first time LA to Manila, and then obviously Canada back here. And having that business class makes a world of difference for those long flights. You're, from Canada, you could be 16 hours, sometimes more. So, that was tip number one. Now, how to reduce your stress? Well, that's obviously a big part, but arrive in time at the airport and give yourself lots of time. When they say 3 hours, you want to do at least that, maybe more, especially in certain, countries. And like when I was flying out of the Philippines, I decided, hey, I'm going to take a trip to Australia, visit family there. And I arrived 3 hours prior. And my God, the lineup still looked like 2 hours. I think I was there even a little before the 3 hours recommended. And here's where tip number two comes in. And again, from Cooper. And this was, he said to me, he says, when you get there, forget standing in the regular line, go to the business lineup as if you've got a ticket, but you don't. So what you're in that lineup for. Yes, I got to the counter. I'd like to see about upgrading my economy ticket to business class. How much would it take? And again, there's virtually nobody in there. I'm at the counter in like 2 minutes. And this is where the negotiation starts. I said, if it's like $500, I'll happily pay the rate. Because it was, a bit of a flight too, time-wise. And they checked and, sir, it's $1,500. I says, oh man, that's way too much. Like, if you've got empty seats, could you check and see on the 500? Can I speak to your supervisor? Maybe, I'll check upstairs. Maybe they could help. And to make a long story short, it was $1,500, and I'm saying, well, I'm not paying that. That's a lot of money per hour for sitting on the plane. But the tip is this. I had been there maybe 10 minutes. They're waiting on the call to get the supervisor. They're very friendly people. Everybody's happy. It's just, no, that's way out of my budget, so sorry. But they check me through. They give me the boarding pass. They take my luggage. They put it through. And I'm looking back at the lineup all the time I'm there, and it's still like it would have been 2.5 hours. So I zipped through let's say, the process of, getting the seat and getting the luggage checked. And seriously, if it had been $500, I would have paid it, but they didn't send me to the back of the lineup, is my point. So that's certainly reduced the stress, and that tip did work. Don't overpack when you come here. You don't need to. I mean, I had overpacked. I was only up by maybe 3 pounds on this thing, and I'm thinking, okay, I'll pay a little fee, whatever it is. And I get to the check-in, and they want $150 for this extra weight. And I'm thinking, well, this is ridiculous. So I step out, and again, it's not real busy. I says, hang on, can I just come right back here after I fix the weight? Oh yeah, no problem. So I go out there, and boy, I'm whipping out sweatpants and sweatshirts, and I'm just loading up, and I think I got enough weight on me now because they don't care how much you're wearing. And I get back to the line, and oh, yep, sir. And they're laughing all this time because they see me. I'm like 10 feet away. So, but no problem. So that, but the point of that is you don't do that. You don't need to do that. You can buy clothes so darn cheap here. Most of these Asian countries, it's identical, that you don't need the clothes you think you have. You can get them here for a lot less than you'd ever pay in the West. And what do I mean? Probably 10%. So that was a good thing I learned. The other thing with your luggage, color code, like put some sort of colored bandana, ribbon, some identifying thing when it comes off the conveyor. I learned my lesson. Jesus, I can tell my bag. Everybody can. Well, it's coming down, and like there's 3 or 4 bags. I'd swear they're mine, and they're not. Like I didn't have the color code on. That's what have made it so simple. I'm looking for a red sash or something. But so watch that for your color coding on that. It does help because a lot of the bags do look similar. Even if you have a colored piece of luggage, there can be 2 or 3 of the same color coming down the ramp. Another thing I learned to reduce your stress, and again, it happened to me, is dress for your travel. And what do I mean by that? Well, I'm leaving Florida one time. I'm flying to the Philippines or Bangkok, forget which, but it was Philippines. I'm leaving Florida. I got shirts and a t-shirt on because I'm going to Manila, and it's going to be shirts and t-shirt time too. Well, it'd be the same if you came to Bangkok. That plane is freezing. And I'm sitting there, oh man, this is terrible. Now they do have blankets, which was nice, but the point of that is if you layer yourself with your clothes, when you're in the air-conditioned airport things about to get on the plane, it's probably better because you can whip them off the layers when you do land to, not be dressed up, for winter, let's say. But it was cold on those planes, so the layering would be good. So dress for your travel. Don't wear high heels for the ladies because you're not going to be comfortable on the plane, let's say. Okay, fourth item, I check your documents. Again, happened to me. So we're flying, we're in Thailand, and we're making a short trip, I think to Don Mueang Airport, heading towards Laos, and Jackie is spelled Jackie on her passport, and I guess I mistakenly put Jacky. And honestly, they wanted me to buy another ticket for, I says, hang on, Jackie, it was an honest mistake. Anyways, once we spoke to the supervisor, it did get corrected. But if I had checked that, you know, beforehand, I would have had not a problem. I could have simply gone up before it's, you know, getting stressed about the, you know, loading time there. I'm at there. I'm sorry, sir, that doesn't match. What? You know, anyways, it did get resolved, didn't miss the plane. Everything was fine. Didn't have to buy a new ticket. But checking your documents to make sure you have everything in place is so critical. And again, real life example happened to me, and that was stressful. So you don't want to eliminate that. And the final thing on that is check your gate. So again, we're sitting in the one of the lounges, and we had actually gone to the gate, and it's way down at the other end. And oh yeah, that's where it is. There it is above the thing. You know, boarding in 2 hours or 2.5, whatever. Well, let's go back to the lounge. So we go back to the lounge, enjoying the complimentary food and drinks, and that's great. And okay, well, they'll be loading in about 20 minutes. We better head down. And we get down there, and it's a different gate because there's nobody standing there. And I didn't really realize that because I thought, well, this is odd. Why is there nobody here? Well, then you look and, oh, God, it's changed. Yeah, it's changed right back to where we came from. So check your gate departures, you know, consistently, or just to make sure that you're in the right area. That will reduce your stress when you know exactly where you're going. Now, a couple quick items after you land at the airport. You're going to want to get your money fairly quickly, at least your startup money. Now, the couple ways to do that is carry some, in my case it was US dollars, even though I'm Canadian, we have access to the US dollars, and that's pretty recognized here, and you'll get your fairly reasonable exchange rates. There's different kiosks at the airport, so you might want to check different levels as to where the best rate is, but that's one way to do it, is have some US cash with you. You don't need to change a lot. They're not going to charge you a horrendous service fee, but you'll need that for purchasing your SIM card, which is next item, and paying for your, some eats you want or snacks, or if you're going to dine first or even get the taxi ride, you're going to need that Thai baht to pay for the expenses. So you need some cash money when you land, and that's one way to do it. The way I did it, and prefer you do it this way, is I used my Wise card. And I had loaded baht onto my Wise card. So it's like a debit card. I simply put it into a local ATM machine. They all work. They all accept them. And bingo, it spat out, I think it was like 10,000 or 20,000 baht I started with. Because the service, now there's a service fee, I think it was 200 baht at the time, so roughly $6. So, it's a $6 fee whether you take out 500 baht or 10,000, 20,000. So, get some, that's what I would recommend. Use the Wise card. It worked perfect for me, being that I already had Thai baht. And you get a better exchange through Wise than I would have got even for changing the US dollars at the airport. Okay, so the next step then you want to do is go to your cell phone provider for your SIM card. And we used AIS, which I highly recommend because it's one of the biggest, if not the biggest, for coverage in the areas we were going to, which was, Pattaya, Jomtien area. Works great in Bangkok as well. And they have different packages there. Like 4G/5G. We went with a premium one. I think it was 1,299 baht, but it gave you unlimited internet data, high-speed data, as well as unlimited calls. Now, did I do that the second month? And they set your phone up. So they, take out the old SIM. If there's one in there, put in the new SIM. They get the phone working. You get your phone number. They make sure it's working. Wow, this is great. So your Google Maps will work then. And you'll want to download some apps like Line and a couple others that Bolt, for example, the taxi ones, you can do that right then and there, right at the airport. So that's a good thing there. Now, for the second month, though, I didn't do the same plan. I downloaded the AIS app onto my phone, and they had specials running every day if I checked it, because you're going to check it, just to familiarize yourself. And you can switch to the English version, which is easy to do. They had many different options, and the one I went for, and currently I'm on, I just simply renew it each month, is 100 gigabytes of data, because I don't use anywhere near that, so I don't need unlimited. And now here's the key. we have terrific internet. If you don't have good Wi-Fi where you're going, then, you might want even more than 100 gig. That would, be hard for me to ever use that. But so that's, and it runs me, I think, about 400 baht or under 400 baht a month for that. So that's good. And it's, again, high speed. So, and then the third thing you're going to do, so you've got your money in your pocket, you've got your, your phone working, is you're going to want your transportation. And in our case, we were going to Pattaya area, and we had the address, so that was easy. And because there was 4 of us with a lot of luggage, we decided to go, a nice premium van service. And that ran us, I believe, 3,400 baht for the direct trip. And that's all fees and everything included. You can do it cheaper than that. I've had car service, in nice vehicles, even some, SUVs, big SUVs that would have taken us with luggage for, 1,400, 1,500 baht. Some people can do it for 1,200 in a car. So there's options on that. We just said, hey, we wanted stress-free. Let's just make sure we got it at the airport. You just simply walk out, there it is. So now, obviously, everything I'm saying, there's other videos on YouTube about it. These are just real experiences that happened with me, and what I would hopefully recommend that you can, save your time and effort and stress by, taking a look at those items. And so that should get you to your place on time and enjoy your stay in Thailand. Now, the last part here is I wanted to tell you about the Bitcoin updates. About a month ago, I did an initial video about Bitcoin, and just wanted to recap what's happened and what I see happening in the next couple months. When I spoke about it a month ago, Bitcoin was, trading at around 25,000 a coin, and a month later, it's now 35,000. So that's been a pretty good appreciation, about 34%. And it's being adopted, and that's why the demand is there. But what's going to happen? In the next 30 to 90 days, what I see going to happen is there's going to be a lot of FOMO. FOMO, and that stands for fear of missing out. And why I say that, the ETFs, exchange traded funds applications, are going to get approved within the next 90 days, maybe sooner. The FASB rules, mean the accounting change rules, are coming into effect, allowing corporations to own Bitcoin on their balance sheets. And there's a halving of the production of Bitcoin is going to be cut in half coming next April. So those events are coming together. And this is a prediction of mine. I predict that you'll see Bitcoin, jump, skyrocket in the next 90 days, relatively speaking to, prices currently. And just wanted to make you aware, and it'll be interesting to see if I'm correct. Now, a lot of yous, and it can be hard in Thailand to buy Bitcoin. We've found that out. But there's other ways, and I've mentioned it in the other videos. I particularly like MicroStrategy, MSTR, but that's just my personal opinion. Do your own research on that. And to help everyone, I'm going to put this on, maybe Darlene can put it somewhere on a thumbnail, there's a great interview in layman's terms by Michael Saylor, and he's interviewed by Tucker Carlson. It's a fantastic interview because, again, it's in layman's terms that anyone can understand. It explains what Bitcoin is. It explains what inflation is, and it explains what money is throughout history. And Michael Saylor is a very interesting individual. You'll see why I say that at the end of the interview, but do watch the whole interview. It'll do you a world of good, even if you're not interested in Bitcoin. And the reason I say that, it's going to be in the news tremendously with what I predict this FOMO coming, and it's when you hear it everywhere and everyone's saying about it and talking about it, it's good that you can be conversed and at least understand what they're talking about and why is there this excitement about Bitcoin. That interview will explain everything, every question you have. Okay, well again, thanks for watching. Hopefully you liked the video. It can be productive, reducing your stress at the airport and also hopefully with explaining what Bitcoin is. And until later, please hit the like and subscribe, and thanks again for watching.